Coming to you live from parts unknown. Here are two guys hanging out, chatting about life, crime, and passing time. One loves to wear his sunglasses inside. He's a connoisseur of tasteless thoughts and an avid fan of Dawson's Creek. Who isn't? And the other is a man who's always willing to one-up your story. He loves his lawn a little too much and has a closet full of white New Balance sneakers. Who doesn't? Here are Captain and Morgan.
Welcome to Captain and Morgan. I am your host, Morgan, and with me once again is our good friend Cherry, coming to us all the way from jolly old England.
Jolly old England. Hello.
I don't know. Isn't it always jolly old England?
Do you know, I don't know anybody in England that says jolly old or tally-ho.
Tally-ho? No tally-ho?
Tally-ho? No, no tally-hos. Yeah.
Maybe it's because where you're from, right? Maybe it's that, was it Southwest England? They're not fancy there or something. I don't know.
I don't know. You've got a lot of posh sort of people with big farmhouses, and they're a bit more ooh-ah-y here. But not being from here from birth, I'm a mix of sort of nearer London and then 20 years down here. So I'm a bit of a mixed bag.
Yeah. Look at
Not
you.
Posh. I know.
Not posh, though.
Not posh, no. Definitely not. So how's your week been?
It's a week so far.
It's like that. Oh.
Well, it's like the same thing. It's just there's nothing that differentiates the weeks or the days now.
Yeah, that's
so.
It's
like every morning when I wake up, I have to actually sit and think, like, what day is it today?
I did that this morning. Woke up and I was like, what? I don't even know what day it is actually today. No idea. I had to check the diary to see what day. I thought we were on Thursday, and obviously not. Crazy. It's weird how stuff's changed. I think life has changed quite a lot since COVID. It's really sort of messed everything up, hasn't it?
Oh, definitely. You said something which kind of like like something, I don't know, triggered something in my head. And you said on Thursday. And so you've done radio.
Yeah.
And what is it? There's something like, maybe it's the time when they say a time on 8 o'clock or on Thursday.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they say in England, but you always hear it, and it always sounds so weird to my ear.
What, when we do time checks?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you would say, like, I guess, how would I say it? So it would be, it's 8:32, blah, 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 blah. Or you do, it's coming up to what is it now? So, yeah, so you do, it's coming up to 8:32. This is blah, 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 blah. I don't know why people do that, why they have to give the time out. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I guess it's useful, but doesn't everyone have, like, clocks in their cars or wherever now?
Yeah, it's really weird because I guess nobody actually teaches you that, which is really weird because all radio presenters do it. They give you a time check, I guess, unless it's pre-recorded. So, but yeah, I think it's just one of those things you do. You sort of introduce yourself every half an hour as well, just in case new people are listening. So you do it on like every half an hour. You'd be like, oh, it's me, Cherry. You're listening to blah, blah FM.
But you don't say Cherry. You have another name for radio.
I do. It's all because when I did my job for radio, it was an audition to get the job, and I went in my pajamas, and they gave me the nickname. So yeah, that's why.
I was going to ask you how you got the nickname. So on the radio, when you do the radio now, you fill in every now and then. It's always PJ.
Yeah.
PJ on The Voice, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
funny.
Yeah. I used to do a lot of auditions. There's a TV show over here called Hollyoaks, and I did an audition for Hollyoaks when I was about 18. And the casting director there said to me, when you do auditions, you should always be memorable because we see hundreds of people, sometimes thousands, and you should be memorable. So I sort of kept that in my head. And so when I went for the audition for the radio station, I wrote a poem because she had to do like this 3-minute speech as to why they should give you the job. I went in my pajamas and I was the only one dressed up. So they remembered me, which was really good. And I got the job. So it wasn't too bad.
Well, that's good. And you're good on it. I've listened to you on doing your presenting, and I've enjoyed it.
Thank you.
You gave a shout out to my daughter one time that she loved.
I did. Yeah, she was in the car, wasn't she? Coming home from school, I think, or something like that.
Yeah. I was picking her up from like preschool, and I think we were going to McDonald's for lunch or something.
Oh, that's nice. It's cool. Kids love that kind of stuff. If you know, my niece, when I used to be on the radio when she was a lot younger and she was in the car, she used to think I was in the radio, which was really fun. So yeah, it's nice. It's good fun.
The best is, now I haven't listened to The Voice or whatever in ages because I don't know when you're on.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious. Like, and whenever you would be on, you're like, hey, we're going to be on. I got to listen. They're listen. And you always play good music. But there's one like, company that does ads.
Yeah.
What was it? Is it like Thunderdome or something like that?
Thunderzone, yeah.
Thunderzone, which is like the best name for like it's like an amusement.
It's like an indoor play area. So like it's got like ball pools and slides and like loads of stuff you can like, it's quite a cool place, quite good fun.
All right. So one day when I come over, we are going to Thunderzone.
Oh yeah, I will take you to Thunderzone. When you come over, I will take you so you can see it. You'll love it. You'll love it. It's great fun.
I'm so excited for Thunderzone.
You're going to be like, it's too loud, it's too hot, and there's too many kids. That's what you're going to be saying.
Oh, I know. I'm sure it's going to be in and out. It's going to be 15 minutes. Like, okay, here it is. Great. All right, let's go.
That's right. That's exactly how it's going to be. Yeah, lots of kids, lots of noise.
So so you told me you have a few things to discuss today, right?
Yeah. So first, it's been an eventful week for me.
Okay.
Now, lockdown is sort of releasing itself, and everybody's starting to get back to normal, including the pubs being open. Right. So people are now allowed to drink, aren't they? Sort of supervised drinking after 4 months of not being able to. And so in my normal job, I have a store, as you would say over there. I have a bakery. And last Saturday, some very clever person who had been obviously out of lockdown and in the pub decided to lose their temper and put their foot through my window.
No.
Yeah, so I get a phone call early Sunday morning to say, I'm really sorry, but the window's been put through of your shop and you're going to need to pop down. So I go down there Sunday morning to see this huge smashed window and and so then had to do a little bit of detective work, and listening to podcasts, true crime podcasts, does pay off because lots of stuff that I've learned listening worked really well for the detective work in finding the person that did it.
No way.
Yeah.
So what'd you do? So let's go through this. So you get a call. Okay, Saturday night, put through the window. You're down Sunday.
Yeah.
So how did Detective Cherry solve the case?
I think someone should employ me as a detective, actually. Well, first of all, we've got CCTV in the shop, and so we had a look through, and I looked through 19 hours of it, and because I just stupidly thought it's going to be an early hours of the morning kind of thing, and it's probably going to be like 1-2 o'clock in the morning. They're going to be really drunk, they're going to be fighting, and someone's fallen through the window. Sort of I went onto my CCTV and looked from about 11 o'clock onwards, I think, and I looked all the way through until about 5 a.m. I know, because of where the window is positioned, you couldn't actually see when the glass was cracked. So it's not as if I could go to a point where it was and work back. I had to sort of go all the way through it. So second by second, 19 hours of CCTV. I eventually found it.
Yeah.
And it was 10:05 in the evening. And so we found it and we did a bit of detective work. And obviously it's still ongoing. So there's not everything I can tell you because we're still waiting to find out whether the person is going to do anything about it, and it's in the hands of the police at the moment. But we did find the person.
So it was earlier than you thought, right? You said 10:05.
Yeah.
Okay, and so what exactly happened?
Okay, so
We
the person has obviously been drinking by the looks of the CCTV. Basically was in a temper and then just kicked my window and just kicked it and kicked it and kicked it. I know.
Oh my God.
I know. So it wasn't even as if
Wow.
there was a fight and they fell for it accidentally. It was a angry act of criminal damage. So obviously you have to go through listening to sort of court stuff and doing, crime podcasts as we do, knowing that there's certain things that you have to have on CCTV to make sure that you can get a conviction for something like this. So it was a lot of work to try and sort it out. But through a little bit of detective work, we found the person and we're just waiting now to see what's going to happen. So it's in the hands of the police at the minute.
That's impressive that you were actually able to find who it was.
The thing is, I think with things like this, I think if you use a bit of common sense and realize that people aren't as clever as they think they are in hiding their identities, it's sometimes a bit, it's quite easy to do stuff like that. And also, I think it's made me look at my own things like social media and stuff like that a bit more carefully, because people can
Okay.
find things out about you a lot, quite easily if you're not careful with your social media and you're not careful with the things that you post online. With just a name, sometimes you can find out quite a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's very, very true.
Yeah.
So basically, you went onto Twitter and you looked up, put my foot through glass.
Yeah.
Hashtag best life.
Stupid drunk man hashtag. Yeah. So yeah. Basically, through a few conversations around town and a bit of detective work on other businesses CCTV, managed to find a timeline of lots of CCTV around the area. So it was kind of a timeline. But also, the other thing that I found out was people aren't very willing to come forward and help sometimes. I spoke, a bus pulls up outside the shop just before the event happens. And I phoned the bus company. I said, oh, hi, I've got a shop, blah, blah, blah. And this has happened. Do you have CCTV on your buses? And the lady just went, yes. I said, okay. She said, but I can't give that to you because that's because of GDPR. I can't give that. And I said, no, hang on. I don't want you to give it to me. I'm just asking, do you have it? Because if you do, that would be really helpful. She was very sort of scary and didn't really want to talk to me very much. But,
wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was a bit of a week's, about 4 days worth of detective work, but we finally done it and we're just waiting now to hear what happens. So fingers crossed he has to pay for my window.
Well, I would hope so, especially if you're able to pretty much prove it was him, then yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
I mean, I think, and look, at this point, honestly, for him, I'm assuming just to pay for the window would be a lot cheaper than trying to fight it.
Of course.
Legally or whatever.
Yeah, of course. And also, had he have just sort of come to me on the Sunday or stuck a note through my door or Googled my business name and then messaged me and said, look, I'm really sorry, I was drunk, I was really stupid, I shouldn't have done it, I probably would have just said to him, look, okay, if you pay the excess, I'll claim for it on my insurance. If you pay the excess, then we can sort it out like that. But he didn't. He hasn't. Yeah. He knows he's done it and he hasn't even come forward and apologized, which is really annoying, really, I think.
Yeah.
What do you do? Drink is a funny thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I haven't been out drinking in a long time. So
do you remember when you and Captain were drunk and you phoned me from CrimeCon? Do you remember?
No.
Do you not remember this? Do you not remember singing on a live thing to me? Remember?
That was that had to have been the first night when we first got there. So that must have been Thursday night.
Yeah, and you were really
I do
drunk.
remember singing. Oh, yeah. so drunk.
Very drunk.
So stupid drunk. And I don't think we got into our room. Because here's the thing about New Orleans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess I didn't think about it. I should have known, but I didn't think about it. Bars don't close in New Orleans, right?
They just
ever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's quite cool.
So here in Columbus, bars, they close at 1 a.m. or something like that, right?
Okay.
Well, in my town, they usually close like 11 or 12. They close a little earlier. But in the city, yeah, they close at 1. But in New Orleans, they don't. So like when you from a place that you're used to the bars telling you, "Hey, last call, get the hell out."
Out you go.
You don't think about time, and you don't realize like how late it is, and because no one's there to, and after you're drinking a while, there's no one there to babysit you to tell you, "Hey, we're closing up shop." You just keep going.
Yeah.
And then finally, you look at your watch and you're like, "Oh, it's 5 a.m. I guess we should probably go and sleep because we have to be up in like less than 4 hours."
You look fresh the next day, though. To be fair, you look good in the CrimeCon pictures. You didn't look hungover or bad or ill.
I felt like shit.
You hit it well.
Oh yeah, it was miserable. Like, and it was miserable like pretty much the rest of the time.
Were you like? I bet.
Yeah. So Friday,
the morning after, you must have smelled bad.
Oh God, yeah, definitely. So like, yeah, Friday was terrible, and then Friday night, I went out and drank a little bit, but not like the night before. I think I had a few beers.
Yeah.
And I was like, I probably passed out really, really, really early.
It always happens though, doesn't it? Like that. It always happens like that.
Oh yeah, especially when you get older. Like, it's the longer hangovers last.
Yeah.
So I don't think I started feeling really, really good or okay or normal until like Sunday, maybe. But even Sunday, I still think I felt a little shaky.
Yeah. But when you're let out like that, when you've, like when you're a father, husband, got a good job, that kind of stuff, when you're let out for the weekend and you've got no responsibilities, you tend to go wild the first night and then you just feel rough for the rest of the time, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. Because it's like, I don't have to worry about.
That's right.
Trying to drive home or whatever.
Or getting up
and
for
having
kids.
a good time.
Yeah.
And you're in a place where there's no one there to tell you to go home because they never close.
That's crazy. That's like that in Vegas. I think when I went to Vegas, it's like that. They sort of have like an afternoon nap and then they crack on like for the rest all night long. And there's no clocks anywhere. So you just don't know what time it is. And everyone's having such a great time. And you look at your clock and go, oh my God, it's like 4 a.m. I need to go back to bed.
I know. Oh, so bad. Yeah, I've only been to Vegas once.
I want CrimeCon to do a Vegas trip so I can come out and go to Vegas and do a Vegas one.
That would be a hot fucking mess.
It would be amazing.
Such a mess.
It would. I want to go and see. I want to go and chat to Billy Jensen and tell him that Paul Holes is strange.
Billy Jensen is tall. He's a tall drink of water. I couldn't believe how tall that guy is.
I never actually saw him after the last CrimeCon. All the women were going on about Paul Holes and how hot he was. So I googled him to have a look because I've heard the podcast. I've heard of him, and in all the cases that he's done. And I was like, oh, okay, I see what they're saying, but not my cup of tea. But great, he's nice guy probably.
Yeah.
And then I googled Billy Jensen, and I was like, wow, he does not look as I thought he would look at all.
What do you think he'd look like?
I don't know. In my head, he was bald with glasses for some reason, but he's totally not, is he? Totally not. It's really tall and nothing
he's
like
really
that.
tall.
Yeah.
I think he's taller than Captain, and Captain's real tall. Like if you see pictures of me and Captain, like he towers over me. But then you have Billy Jensen, who I'm pretty sure is taller than Captain.
So how tall are you?
6'3".
Yeah, of course you are.
No, I'm 5'9". No.
Okay.
No, it's fine. I'm 5'9", whatever.
You're 5'9". Okay, so I'm like 5 foot 1 3/4.
I'm 5'9", 40 stone.
No, you're not. That's such lies. Such lies.
I have no idea how much a stone is.
Oh yeah, because what do you do yours in over there? Pounds, don't you?
Pounds, yeah.
Yeah, see, I can't do that whole. Whenever I do that and I listen to stuff and they go, oh, she was 120 pounds, I have to go Google 120 pounds in stone. So I get a rough idea of how much people weigh. Yeah.
No, yeah. That's so weird though, yeah. Like I have no idea. Like if you hear, geez, like what would be a normal stone weight?
I don't know, maybe for a guy, maybe 5'8", 5'9", I would say maybe, I don't know, 11 and a half, 12 stone, maybe.
12 stone.
Yeah, maybe around that kind of
That
weight.
sounds like, but that's
That sounds
like anytime you
huge.
say stone, that sounds like a lot. Yeah, like, oh,
Yeah.
Jesus, he's 12 stone.
I don't know what that is in pounds, actually. There's 2.2 pounds to a kilo. Oh, that's kilos. That's not right. I don't know what that is. I'll have to Google it. We'll have to get good old Google out and see what is
Wow.
it? Let's see.
Stone
What
to
is
pounds. Here we
12
go.
stone in pounds? It is 12 stone in pounds, 168 pounds.
1 stone is 14 pounds.
Yeah, so 168 pounds is 12 stone.
Multiply the mass volume by 14. Oh, okay, that's easy.
Yeah, so that's about the stones. I can't do it in pounds, but pounds always sounds like really, really small. So I'm quite happy to do the pounds, the conversion for my height. It's quite good. I'll do it in pounds, please.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah.
So I was gonna say, did you get caught up on Unsolved Mysteries yet?
Oh, I so did. I can't believe this. So episode 3 is the one that's really, really got me now. If you haven't, I know you've seen it. If you haven't seen it, you need to go and watch it. Episode 3 of Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah. If you have it and you have Netflix, what's wrong with you?
Exactly.
Honestly,
you should have
people.
watched it all by now. Come on.
Okay. And episode 3 is the Count Xavier Dupont de Mayonnaise.
That's right, de Mayonnaise.
Right?
Yep, definitely.
De Mayonnaise.
So that's the guy. So he's a count in France, in Nantes, in France. If that's how you say it, that's how we're going to say it today.
Nantes, yeah.
Nantes. And
looks like Nancy, or no, not Nancy. There is a Nancy, right?
Okay.
Or in France, but this is Nantes, Nantes, Nantes.
Yeah. Nantes. But it looks better as Nantes. I like it as Nantes. I'm just going to rename all these places and people. So obviously, if you don't like subtitles, don't bother watching it because the whole thing is subtitles because it's all in French.
Yeah.
And so that can be a bit off-putting, I think, because you need to read the subtitles plus look for clues in the show as well, which is a little bit off-putting. So I did do a bit of rewinding throughout that.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So what about this case, like, got you?
So I love the unsolved ones. I love the unsolved ones where there's something quite obvious has happened, but it's proving it. That's what I like. It's the meticulously finding the points to prove what you think's happened. And with this one, it wasn't just everyone's gone missing or everyone's dead and there's nothing to lead you. It's all completely nothing. We've got no clues. The clues here and the stuff is just immense, but it's all the circumstantial stuff. There's nothing that actually proves what happened. So basically, the family were in a lot of debt. He's a count and he is of like aristocracy, so he's quite posh and that kind of thing. And they live in like a fairly nice house, like a townhouse. They have 4 children, one of which is not his biological son, but they do have 4 children. And basically, the children and the wife and the 2 dogs turn up dead under the patio. Da, da, da. And
the
dad's missing. So you straight away think, okay, dad's a suspect. And then they start going through the timeline of stuff happening, and it becomes more and more and more obvious that he murdered them all.
Yeah.
And so the police know it, and his friends know it, and everyone knows it, but it's proving that he did it because that's the difficult thing. There was no blood found in the house, no fingerprints found in the house. The house was empty and the pictures were taken out of the frames, which is strange.
Isn't it strange though that like no blood evidence anywhere, right?
No.
So which means he had to have done it outside the home, you would assume, right?
That's right, yeah. And each person, the children were all drugged. So the children were all sedated. So when they were killed, it's likely that they were already asleep and knew nothing of what's going on. And so straight away to me, that suggests a level of caring. I know you can't have a caring murder, but that does suggest to me a level of care. He's made sure that they are asleep and not knowing anything of what's going on before they were shot.
Yeah. Except one, maybe.
Yes,
Right?
except one, maybe.
Because
Yeah.
Thomas,
Yeah.
who's the oldest son,
That's right.
the
Yeah.
oldest biological son,
That's right.
who was in school, and he called him back.
That's right. He was away when allegedly he was away when the others were murdered. So they were, I think, murdered, they think, on the Sunday night. And the son, Thomas, was away at college, and he was called back by his dad saying that his mum had had a stroke and was in hospital in a coma. Now, the mum had sleep apnea and had a sleep apnea machine at night. So that was turned off, and they've got the recording of when it was turned off. So I'm guessing that was just switched off and she's just died. And then he's just with a gun.
But I don't think with sleep apnea and people that have the sleep apnea machine, it's like, oh, the machine's not working, I'm gonna die. I don't think I don't think that's the case, though, right?
I think they suffer. I think they suffocate, don't they? I think it's that they can't breathe.
They could.
Yeah.
I think they could.
Yeah.
But it's not like, I mean, to be diagnosed with sleep apnea, you've had to have symptoms of it prior.
Yeah.
So I know that helps keep the airways open, but I don't think necessarily it's like, oh, it's not like it's the like a life support machine in the hospital where you flip it off and then you flatline.
But could it be that they would switch it off and then she wouldn't be able to breathe, and so then it might, because I think if you can sort of choke somebody to unconsciousness where they're not dead but they are unconscious. So I wonder if that's just like knocked her out. And then he's shot her there. Yeah. But the most upsetting thing to me is, why did he shoot the dogs? Like, why? Like, he could have just left the dogs. They're not witnesses. Why didn't he just leave them alone?
Okay. All right. Why would a person do that?
See, I think that the way the bodies were so the bodies were found, the family were in a lot of debt, and the next door neighbour had reported that the shutters were closed on the house, and that's what was a bit strange, because they were always open and the house was always very noisy. So she reported that, you know, it was really quiet, and got the police to come around and do a check. They went round and the house was all up and everything was fine as far as they could see, but obviously they didn't go in. They were just knocking on the door, but nobody answered. Then they had a debt collector go round to pick up a debt of 20,000 euros, I guess, over there. And the house was empty. The police then went and did another check and found this underneath the patio. They've got like this, it's kind of like a door, like a deck-in system, and underneath that there was like a doorway, and that's where they found the bodies. But the bodies were wrapped up, and then they had like religious different artifacts laid with them. So it was a very careful, very caring burial for all of them. And I think it was Thomas that was in a separate grave, because obviously he came back a bit later, didn't he?
Yes.
And so he was in a separate grave to the others. So to me, when you look at the evidence of finding their bodies and finding what was with them, knowing that they were quite a strong Catholic family, it sounds to me like it was as close to a normal Catholic burial that you would get. And so that suggested to me it was somebody who cared about what happened to these people. And I think, looking at the level of debt he was in, and also the fact that he'd already tried to move to the US a couple of times, but it had failed and wiped out all of their savings. So they're in, quite a considerable amount of debt by now. I think maybe that's kind of helped.
And I'm assuming, I can't remember this exactly from the episode, but I'm assuming that his father did not have a whole lot of money either by that point, because he had died.
That's right
before, and that's where he got the gun. So right before the killings, his father had passed away.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that whatever he had left, or whatever he gave to his son, was not nearly enough.
There was sort of no money.
Get them out of. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But the weird thing is, so they were all found sort of early April 2011, and on I think it was the 1st of April, Arthur had left college. So he's the very eldest one, not Xavier's biological son, but the one that he took on. He left college and didn't turn up at his workplace. The boss was a bit thought this is a bit strange because he always turned up, but then thought nothing of it. Perhaps something was wrong. And the same day, Xavier went and bought cement, a shovel, and a hoe. So this is like really early on in April that he's buying stuff like that. And then he goes on the 2nd of April and buys 10 kilograms of lime. 4 bags of these 10 kilograms, so 40 kilograms of lime. He goes and buys them from different shops. So anyone that knows anything about podcasts and murder documentaries and everything, lime, you know what he's going to be doing with that, don't you? So,
exactly, yeah.
Straight away, my little ears were screaming like guilty. But yeah, they are seen on the 3rd of April. All of them are seen. Out together. They're out seeing for dinner, and then they go off to the cinema. So that's the 3rd of April. They're still around, and then the children don't turn up for school, and everyone's starting to worry about where they are. People are saying that they haven't heard from them. No one's answering their messages and stuff like that. And then the dogs were howling, and people were hearing the dogs howling. So I'm guessing that's why he killed the dogs, because they're being left on their own, and there's no one around to look after them.
Yes, and then if you have dogs, barking and crying, then that's going to alert someone like, hey, something's wrong. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so he's kind of got this 3-week window from when they are actually killed to when people start to suspect something's going wrong. So he's got 3 solid weeks before they're sort of found, that he can go and put other things into place. He's still going around like normal. He's not running. He goes out for dinner. He uses his credit cards in restaurants. He gets money out of a casino cash point. He's not gone on the run majorly. He's just
he's not
living
hiding
life
at this point.
Not at all.
Yeah, he's not hiding.
Yeah, not at all.
Yep.
And so there are then letters. These letters arrive for the family. They are dated 11th of April, and they're allegedly from Xavier and the family to say that they've moved to America and they're going to work for the DEA. And they're not allowed to say anything about this. However, they've changed their names. They've changed their location. I mean, seriously, who's going to believe that?
Who? First off, when you come to the store, who says I'm going to go work for the DEA? No one says I'm going to go for the DEA.
No.
Or even if it's CIA, you're not going to go, I'm going to go work for CIA.
I'm now undercover. I'm now undercover, so you won't be able to find me. I mean, seriously, what a stupid thing to do.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
That's basically someone who does not understand how the federal government works, and especially these sort of positions.
That's right. And also, he's a clever man. I mean, he's not stupid. He's a really educated guy. And so, yeah, basically, he's seen in and out of different places. He goes out for dinner and stuff like that, uses his credit card, like I say, goes and does a bit of shopping. And then he checks out of the hotel that he's staying in about, I think it's the middle of April. He goes into a hotel and he stays there. And then he checks out and leaves his car there. So now his car is there. The police find the car, and then they're going to be sort of searching the hotel, which is going to take a little bit longer. And he's kind of cleverly plotted it so that each step of the way, the police are stopping, searching, then on to the next one. And it's kind of given him a good few weeks to get away and sort out what he's going to do.
Now, okay. So it was the Formula One hotel, or the Hotel Formula One, Bijou Roquebrune-sur-Argent. All right. Which they talked about in the episode.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, right? So they make it sound like where this hotel is, you can walk across this mountain range and you'll be in Italy.
That's right.
Well, that's not the case.
No.
It's actually, I mean, yeah, while it's close to the Italian border, it's not on the Italian border. I mean, this is west of Cannes, it's west of Nice, west of Monaco. So it's like you have quite a ways to go until you actually can get to Italy. So the question then becomes, why did he actually stop there? Why did he leave his car there? And where was he going?
And usually with this kind of murder, this sort of family somebody that murders their whole family, usually very often a suicide will then happen very, very close to this. And so I think he's kind of set this up to be that he's done what he's done, and then he's gone to the woods, where he's gone, and then he's killed himself, and they can't find him because it was vast. It was a huge mountain range, and I think that's what he's tried to allude to. That's what's happened. He's gone out there, killed himself, and they won't find him because of the brush and the animals and that kind of thing.
I think you said it right. What he wanted to allude to, allude to the fact. I don't think, my opinion, I don't think he went into the mountains and killed himself.
No, I agree. I
think a better option would be to head a little south down to the Mediterranean, hop on a ship, go over to one of the multiple French-speaking countries that are there in Northern Africa, and start there, and then move out from there.
Right. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, that's a good idea. But the whole question is why. So, okay, if he did do this, why did he do it? And I've thought about this quite a bit, and I think if you see, like you said, with the no blood anywhere, there was absolutely no blood, no DNA evidence at all anywhere from these bodies. And also, I think you would, I don't know how close, I couldn't see like an aerial view of the house and the back garden and stuff. How close would you have to be to your next door neighbour not to see you drag 4 bodies out of a house and underneath a decking system? Now, his best friend who was featured in it said that he had chronic backache, and he would not be able to carry bodies like that and put them underneath the decking. But when you're desperate, I think you can do anything. I think,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think if you are desperate to do something, then if you've got backache, you'll deal with it.
See, I believe, I'm trying to remember from the episode. I would categorize where they lived. We would call it almost like a townhouse
like
here,
a townhouse,
right?
yeah.
Or like, I don't want to call it a row house because row house sounds like, I see. I don't know is it possible that so they're unconscious somehow. He gets them they're knocked unconscious.
Yeah, he drugs them. Yeah,
Does he? Yeah. He drugs them.
Yeah, the autopsy says they were drugged.
Okay, so they're drugged. He gets them onto, like, I don't want to say a tarp, like a plastic tarp or something, because were they wrapped up underneath the...
Yeah, they were wrapped up first, and then they were put into black bags and taped up.
I have a hard time imagining him doing it anywhere but inside the house.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing it outside the house, you have to worry about, and obviously he was worried about being caught, right?
Yeah.
Even though, like, after the fact, he was just kind of living his life and just going on and doesn't seem to have a care. But in killing the dogs, that to me sounds like he didn't want to be caught, right? He didn't want people to be let on to the fact that he had just killed his family.
Yeah.
And he wanted time to be able to get away.
Yeah.
So that's, to me, says he wouldn't have done it outside, because I don't think he would have taken a chance of someone happening to look out the window or happen to be walking past at the moment when, he's shooting them outside.
That's
because even though he has a silencer doesn't mean that there's no noise, right?
No,
it's
just reduced, isn't it?
Muffles it. Yeah, it reduces it. So chances are, if you do it inside your home with a silencer, you have less of a chance of someone hearing it. Yeah. I'm assuming.
I mean, they've not said. The way I thought they could have done it would be to, I mean, all of the stuff in the house was cleared out. So everything's gone. The house was empty. And I wondered whether perhaps he might have put a pillow over them and shot them. So that would help muffle it, but also would control the first spray of blood. So that would help to control that. And like you say, if he's already lay them on something that he's then going to wrap them in, it could be that's going to help. But I mean, really, 4 of them and absolutely no evidence whatsoever. That's quite a feat, isn't it? It's quite a thing to achieve, really. But so that could be the way that he did that. and then obviously he's now disappeared. But I have read a few things on good old Reddit, which is where all the conspiracies come from. And they have said that according to the autopsies, Xavier's family were advised not to view the bodies. So the bodies were, they think, dead for about 3 weeks before they were found. And they were advised not to see the bodies. And so from their point of view, they believe that those bodies weren't those of Xavier's family, and that he's off somewhere with his family under a new name, like he said he was going to in the letter. And there's been some conspiracy theories across Reddit that people, about I think it was 9 witnesses, have come forward to say that they've seen Agnes, the wife. They saw her up to like 6 or 7 days after the police said she was supposed to have been murdered.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I found it. So it's on Reddit somewhere. And they said, about 9 people have come up to say that they actually saw her. But then saying that, I saw someone yesterday that my dad's best friend died of a heart attack a few years ago. And I was in the town and saw this guy and literally stopped dead in my tracks because he looked just like him. And I know it's not him because I know he did die. But honestly, he looked exactly like him. So what are the chances really that, I mean, DNA is going to sort that one out, isn't it? But they're saying, the family is saying, that if this was a DEA and a kind of an international undercover situation, then those bodies aren't who they say they are. So that's another way. Is it them? Is it definitely them? Or is this a cover up for him being an undercover agent somewhere?
No.
I don't think so. I think that's just wishful thinking on their behalf, really. Nobody's going to send a letter home to say that they're going undercover, with the CIA or with the DEA. No one, it's not going to happen, is it? So I think that's a bit of a red herring just chucked in there, really, to be honest.
See, this is interesting, though, because I don't think that the episode did a good job of really laying out how long he was in the house before he took off, like after the supposed murder days, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, he was in the house for at least 4 days, if not longer, right?
Yeah.
Because that Friday they had activity, like, internet activity from the home.
Yeah. How crazy must that have been, though? If you're in the home and your wife and kids are out back under the patio, that must be so creepy. How could you sleep?
I don't know. Okay, it is really weird, but it's not unheard of, right?
No.
Okay, last week we talked about wrestling. We're going to talk about wrestling for a real quick second here. So Chris Benoit, right?
Yeah.
Chris Benoit, who was a professional wrestler who in 2007 killed his wife and young son.
Oh, before
killing himself. You did not know that?
No.
Yeah.
How have I missed this?
Yeah. I don't know.
No.
You have to look this up, or we have to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I'll give you the brief rundown so we can actually jump in. We can actually talk about this in length some other time.
Yeah.
But Chris Benoit was probably like one of the best wrestlers at the time, and he was scheduled to be wrestling in a pay-per-view on that Sunday, and over the course of basically 2 days, he killed his wife first, so like on Friday.
Yeah.
Then Saturday he killed his son.
Oh wow. And
then Sunday he was supposed to be at pay-per-view. So we're talking about how can you live with dead people in the house and not.
Yeah.
This is where it gets crazy. So it's later found that after he killed his wife and his sons, he was getting in contact with WWE, trying to get them to set up a flight so he can make it to the pay-per-view.
No.
And he was Googling like how to get to the arena. So he's still in his head.
He's going to go to work.
Was planning. Yeah, he was going to go to work. How crazy would that have been if he actually went through with that, went to work, wrestled on the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
His wife and kids are dead. He probably would have gone and done Monday Night Raw or whatever the next day. And who knows how long it would have been before
Before he
someone
went
would have
back.
figured, oh, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So he was
isn't it?
going along like nothing was wrong.
So that's not a crime of passion, is that's not like a oh my God, I've lost my temper and I've shot her in temper, or that's not, is it? Because if you did something like that, you'd panic, and he obviously didn't panic. It's obviously he's trying to go to work and acts like normal.
But I don't know. Is it not? I mean, can it not be like a period of manic
Maybe.
anger? I don't know.
But surely you've got to come round out of that after. I mean, I get that you could go crazy for a bit, but then eventually you've got to have that realization of what you've done. And then, well, I suppose maybe he did, and then he killed himself. Yeah. So yeah, if he did, yeah, maybe that's what happened. Maybe he's just, oh, wow. Crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay, I think we definitely need to talk about that.
We so do.
We
That's
have to
next
jump
episode.
into it.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that he had done that.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So you have him.
Mm.
And then I want to mention one other case.
Yeah.
Since we're on this subject, and this, I don't know if you heard of this one. So there's a gentleman by the name of John List.
John List, no.
Who is from Michigan here in the United States. And in 1971, he killed his family.
Right.
And the reason he gave was that they were in critical financial they were having critical financial problems.
Ooh.
And he was also and he was perceiving that his family members were straying away from their religious faith.
Oh.
So he believed that in killing them would assure their souls in heaven.
Oh no.
And would be able to join them someday.
Oh wow.
So now with John List, he disappeared just like Count Xavier Dupont de Ligonnès or whatever, right?
No way.
And he wasn't found until like 1990, or 1989.
Oh my God. So was he found dead or alive?
No, he was alive. He was found alive.
He killed them and sodded off.
Yeah, he was in New Jersey. He was living a normal life in New Jersey.
No way. Was he remarried?
I don't remember if he was or not.
Imagine that. If you married someone thinking they were just like a single guy, good job, blah, blah, blah. And then you find out that somewhere he's got a whole murdered family and now he's your husband. That would be shit crazy, wouldn't it? That would be awful. Oh my God. That's
definitely like a made for TV movie.
People are so weird. How can you do stuff like this? I understand the people that have got like, if you would kill someone, I'm not condoning this, but if you were to kill somebody in anger, if someone breaks into your house and you like scared and you shoot them, protecting yourself, I can understand how that happens. But to murder your children that you've raised from baby, and to murder them, and then just carry on. Oh yeah, okay, off you go, new life. Thanks very much. Why not just leave them?
Mm-hmm.
Why not just leave?
And I don't understand how people can just take on another life too, right?
No.
And so he basically just changed the name, like, hey, my name's Bob now.
Yeah.
And I'm an accountant. So it's like, it's insane.
Bobs are always
so that
dodgy.
Makes me definitely.
If you know someone called Bob, you can never trust a Bob. They're always dodgy. Yeah, talking to you, Bob. Dodgy.
Dodgy Bob.
We're going to do Ban the Bob. That's going to be our t-shirts. None of the Ban the Vans. We like vans on this podcast. We're going to do Ban the Bob.
Sorry, Bobs.
Yeah, sorry, Bobs.
My granddad was Bob.
Oh, no, really? Oh, my God.
That's all right.
Sorry.
Okay.
Except for Granddad Bob.
Granddad Bob was good.
But then, so I know a guy, talking about double lives, I know a guy who was in like the Marines, and he was posted away quite a lot. And he had a wife here and a fiance in Scotland.
What?
And, yeah, he had two totally different lives. He had two totally different Facebook accounts. So one Facebook account was his wife and all that kind of stuff. And the other Facebook account was all his Scotland friends and his Scotland fiance. And this lady's planning her wedding, all like that they're going to get married. And this guy's already married to somebody else.
How the hell does that work?
Do you know what? I have trouble remembering what I did yesterday, how I could do a whole new life. I mean, you're going to be going, oh, remember when we did this? And she's going to go, no, that wasn't me. Oh, yeah, okay. That must have been someone else. How weird. I don't know how people do it, but it happens so often. It happens loads.
Okay, so what happened with him ultimately?
So eventually what happened was a friend of his girlfriend, so a friend of his friend's girlfriend was looking on Facebook for something, and his Facebook profile in Scotland popped up somehow.
Yeah.
And she was like, whoa, hey, hang on a minute. That's Bob, let's say. That's Bob, who's married to Cherry, say. And
Yeah.
and then she was like, whoa, looking at his profile, there's a fiance. There's a whole new life. What's going on? And that's how he got caught out.
Crazy.
Yeah, mad. Totally mad.
That is insane.
So, yeah, needless to say, his wife found out, and that was the end of that. But I don't know what happened with the Scotland lady, whether she carried it on, but yeah, crazy.
She's Scottish. She probably did.
Yeah, she's probably like, yeah, come on. Come back up here with me.
It's just a day that ends in Y here in Scotland.
Yeah, it's totally strange. People are so weird. So what do you think's happened to Count Xavier Dupont de Mayonnaise?
Actually, before I get into what I think, did you see, and I think it was just yesterday, maybe the day before, where someone once again said, oh yeah, I saw him in Chicago, just recently.
Really?
Yeah.
So he's made it to the US in the end then?
I don't know how. I think he is alive. I don't think he's in the United States.
Okay.
I think he is in one of the old French colonial countries.
Oh, okay.
He's in a French-speaking country. So once again, I think Northern Africa. I don't think he's anywhere close to North America. I mean, yeah, I guess he could have made it over to one of the French-speaking islands in the Caribbean.
But he speaks Spanish too. He speaks Spanish and French.
He does speak Spanish.
Yeah, he
English,
speaks Spanish,
of course.
Yeah, and Italian.
So I guess that opens the possibilities to more places. But I'm going to say he's in Africa. He's in North Africa.
Oh, okay. He looks. I think
maybe
he looks
like
Mexico.
Algiers or Algeria or something like that.
Maybe
he could be in Central America or even South America.
So
I don't think he killed himself.
I don't think so either. And if you have an offshore account, so if you have an account like that, is that something that's completely untraceable, or is there a way of tracing offshore accounts?
I think it depends on the country and where it's located, right? Okay,
so if you look at him, he's very dark skinned, quite dark skinned. He's got dark hair. He looks a bit, I would say, like Italian-y, Mexican-y, that kind of look about him. So I think he's one of those people that I think he could blend in quite well. And I don't think he would look out of place in a country like that.
No, and that's the thing too. I think he's a very, I don't want to, I'll say plain looking.
Yeah,
he's just an average, normal looking guy.
Yeah, nothing remarkable about him.
He wouldn't stand out anyway.
No, that's right. So he kind of, but also like the investigator said on that show that he blends in, but also he looks like a lot of people. So the sightings that people keep seeing, is it going to be him, or is it someone that looks quite a lot like him? Because he's not got anything really about him. I mean, he wears glasses, but that's nothing contact lenses can't fix. And he could grow a beard. He could shave his stubble off. He can change his look so much. And I don't think people would recognize him so well.
I mean, this has been how many years now? This was
2011, wasn't it? I think they were killed.
Yeah, 2011. So we're talking 9 years. And so he's pushing 60 now.
Yeah.
Right?
He could be really fat by now.
He's French. He's probably not fat.
This is true. He's probably not. He's probably still skinny. I've never seen a fat French person. So, yeah, you're probably right.
But it seems to me, I think now, like, the difference in how people look between the ages of 50 and 60 is a lot more drastic.
Yeah.
Than, say, between 40 and 50 or whatever.
Yeah. But, I mean, he's going to have started over completely. It's not going to be that he's not going to ever speak to anyone again. So he's going to be completely new person with, I mean, how do you go making up a backstory as to where you come from, what you've done, who your parents are? Because that's just normal stuff that new friends would talk about. So you're gonna have to be really careful all the time. Is it really worth it?
Mhm.
You'd have to be so
I
careful with
bet
what you say.
if it were me and I had to come up with a backstory, there would be a pinch of salt in all my story, or not pinch of salt, a pinch of truth. There you go, a pinch of truth in
Yeah.
all my stories, right?
Yeah.
So it's easy to change up little things,
Yeah.
but if you have, you can. There's a lot of things I can make up stories right now that are
Yeah.
completely false,
Yeah.
but it comes from somewhere
Yeah.
that actually happened.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's as difficult as you might think.
But you've got to remember them, haven't you? If you are constantly having to make up little stories that are slightly true, but it's trying to remember that, and it's trying to constantly remember who you've told what to.
Yeah.
It's like taking on a whole lot of trouble, I think. And for what? Why didn't he just sort of walk away, say to his family, "I don't want to see you anymore. I'm off," and just disappear? Don't try and find me. I don't want to be with you. I don't like you anymore. I'm having an affair, and that's it.
I don't know.
I don't know. I
That's
don't
easier.
understand why.
That's
Yeah.
so much easier
But I
and
wonder. If
not fucked up.
yeah, exactly, and just better if he just writes a letter and says, "Look, I'm really sorry, but I've been having an affair for the past." So she'll be mad then. I've been having an affair for the past 5 years. I'm off, and I don't like you anymore. Look after the kids. See you later. But then there's always that chance, I suppose, they'll try and find you. But also, it's the whole lineage as well, isn't there? Because that's what they think happened with Thomas. They think that he hesitated on killing Thomas because that ends the Mayonnaise lineage. So there's no more mayonnaise lineage. I can see the title for this podcast already.
I know, but it's like, okay, I guess as an American, that's what makes no sense to me. It's like, okay, this whole lineage thing, who cares if he's the last one or not? It's just like, it's
I'd be so
frustrating.
excited
It's
to be
like
a countess, though. It'd be quite cool.
a countess.
Can you imagine going into booking a restaurant and they say, "Oh, what's your name?" And you go, "I'm Countess Cherry of London. Please book me in."
But can you imagine having to sign checks though? That'd be a pain in the ass.
But I did have a title.
It'd be like 100 different names.
Yeah, it would. I had a title once. My work friends bought it for me, and I had the title of Lady.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Lady. And I actually had Lady on my driving license and on a store card. And I went into a store once and I went to buy some, I don't know, makeup or something. And I gave her the points card, and she was really sort of a bit shitty with me to start with. As soon as I gave her the card and she saw that my name was Lady, she was really, really nice to me. And I was
Shut up.
No, seriously. She was so nice to me. And my daughter said to me, why did she do that? And I said, because look at my card. And she said, "Is there anything else I can get for you, madam? Is there anything else I can do for you?" And she's really nice. Whereas before she was really shitty before I gave her the card. So yeah, I've kept that just for future
That's
usage.
insane to me. That is insane to me.
People are they're just,
because as an American, we don't have anything like that, right?
Do you not have anything
Unless,
like ladies and lords?
No.
No way.
Because
nothing.
No, because there was a little thing called the American Revolution, and we said, "Get that fucking British stuff out of here." We're America.
We're America. Oh, but yeah, I suppose you should have kept that.
And then,
you should have kept the whole Lords bit because it's quite fun.
No, they got rid of all of that, and they said, "No, not gonna happen." Washington was like, "Nope, not gonna be the king. Not gonna happen."
Shame on you.
But here's the thing: if we did have something like that, if we did have lords or ladies or whatever,
yeah,
it would be like the Kardashians. That'd be the lords and ladies.
Oh.
Lady Kim Kardashian. No, thank you.
Yeah, no, that's no good, is it? No.
We don't want that.
It's like President Kanye. Is that going to happen? But
no,
then saying that,
he's not.
Did anyone ever think that Arnold Schwarzenegger was going to be like senator? No one ever thought that was going to happen.
Governor. He was governor.
That's it. Governor. Yeah.
No, but I think I saw it where Kanye's not. He didn't meet there's something that's causing him. He's not eligible to run for president.
No, I should hope not. It should have
Like, he
happened.
must, like,
maybe Trump should have not have run either.
Oh my God. Oh, don't want to even get into that. That's a mess.
That's a bit of a mess.
Hopefully it's coming to an end soon.
Okay, we'll see, won't we? We'll see.
Okay, I just lost to 5 Trump supporters that listen to the show.
They're still here. They still love you.
I love Trump.
You love him.
I never have. I never liked him. Even before all this, I never liked his shows. I thought he was scummy.
He's just a bit. It's just a bit strange, isn't it? He's, I don't know, so politically incorrect, and he's very crazy, and he's not kind of like the kind of person that you, after Obama, who is like clean cut American, really nice guy, really nice family, no scandal anywhere, to then be followed up with the total opposite. It's very weird. It's not
the change you want. You don't want. I understand. Like, he was like, we're going to drain the swamp. But he was like, he has like soiled the presidency, and he's making our country look terrible. We look horrible.
I just wonder if like anybody actually really thought it would happen. Maybe most people didn't actually think he would get in. So now it's a bit like, whoa, he's actually president of the United States. We've given him so much power.
So from my perspective, I think it was a situation where it was like, okay, he's announcing he's going to run president. Okay, not going to last long. Okay.
Yeah.
He's going to drop out.
Yeah.
Okay, he's still in it. Okay, now we're into debates. Okay, he's horrible in his debates, and he's rude and obnoxious. He's not going to win. Okay, now he's starting to win some primaries. Okay, but he won't win all the primaries. Okay, he's now the Republican nominee, but it's okay because
it's never going to happen.
It's never going to happen. He can't, it's Hillary Clinton, but there's no way that he's going to win. Oh, crap. He's the president. Okay. Well, now he's the president, and he's going to fuck up, and he's going to get impeached. Okay, so that's going to happen. Okay, he hasn't been impeached yet. Oh, here it is. Here's the impeachment moment. Okay, not going to be.
Doesn't happen.
Because
yeah.
And so now we're in the part where it's like, okay, now he's running for re-election. Not going to happen. Hopefully this time, cross your fingers. It's not going to happen.
It's a bit of a mess, isn't it? You need some good people to run for presidents over there. You need a bit more of a pool of good people instead of like the pool that you've got. It's not a great pool to be picking from. But I do think that old Xavier's living it up somewhere in Mexico. I think he was in a lot of debt, and I think he bumped off his family so that somebody else didn't come and do it. That's my official conclusion. That's what happened.
That someone else, he did it so no one else would.
Yeah, I think he was in a lot of trouble, and I think he cannot go on the run with 5 other members of his family and being conspicuous. So I think the kindest thing to do would be to kill them all and then see if he can make a life. If he can't and he gets found out, so be it. But I think he's tried and he's off, he's gone, to stop somebody else from hurting them and killing them in a not very nice way, as he did it in quite a...
If it wasn't him, it would be someone else.
Exactly.
Who he owed money to.
Yes.
That is very, very interesting.
Yeah, that's my theory. I think that's what's happened. Yeah.
We definitely got to think about this. And we definitely have more things to talk about, which we'll do on our next episode. I can't believe we don't know about Chris Benoit.
I didn't even know he was dead. I didn't even know he had died. I didn't know anything.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he was still wrestling somewhere.
It's been 13 years, yeah.
Oh, God.
I think it was like 13 years. I think it was just this past few days ago would have been like the 13th anniversary. I don't think
sad,
13th
isn't
anniversary. Yeah, it was. I believe it was July 2007. So.
Oh wow! I'm gonna have to go back and have a good old look.
So go have a good look, and we'll talk about it next time.
Definitely.
Next time we get together.
Cool.
All right. Well, I think that's enough for today.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think we've talked for ages. It seems like we've been talking for 5 minutes. There's so many wormholes and rabbit holes we could go down. It's
Keep
mad.
going on and on and on.
I know.
For our listeners out there, let us know what you think. What are your thoughts on Count Xavier Dupont de Ligonnès? Do you agree with Cherry? You think he did his family in so that someone else wouldn't get to him? Do you think he's alive? Do you think he's dead? I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what everyone thinks.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people do assume that he's still alive, though. That's going to be my guess. My guess is the majority of people are going to be like, yeah, he's still alive.
Definitely. I think so.
Living it up somewhere. Yeah. Somehow with Brian Schaefer.
Yes, exactly. He's in Italy. That's where he is.
He goes to him and Brian Schaefer living it up in Italy, in Tuscany.
That's exactly where he is. He's serving the drinks and Brian's fixing up the people.
There you go. Perfect. That's perfect. Well, thank you everyone for listening. I hope you enjoyed. And as always, be nice, right?
Be
nice.
Better people. That's right. Just be nice.
Be better. Be nice. Be nice.
Thanks for listening to Captain and Morgan. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe and leave a 5-star review. You can follow Captain and Morgan on Instagram @TheCaptain&Morgan, or you can visit their website at captainandmorgan.com.